Welcome back to What She Says Sports, everybody. All right, it is the nighttime edition, and tonight you saw the thumbnail. We talking about Shedeur, talking about Shilo, talking about Coach Prime, and we're gonna mix it a little up. I didn't have enough room to put it, but if you were on the previous live stream, I said we're gonna talk about LaJohntay Wester and Janiah. So y'all know I have a segment called Bay by What She Says Sports. It's where love, relationships, and football intersect. Well, actually, it's where love, relationships, and sports intersect. It could be basketball, it could be football, hell, it could be NASCAR if I know about it. Right? So you're in for a treat tonight. Get your snacks, get your drinks. We get ready to ride out. All right. So we're gonna start with Coach Prime first. Why are we gonna start with Coach Prime first? Because he did a press conference and said, he prepared his sons for whatever, right? They be fine with or without football. Now, of course, that's the right thing to say, right? Now, I, for one, can't even fathom to know what it is that Shilo is feeling because his lifelong dream of the NFL seems to be hanging in the balance, right? Yes, he could be put on a practice squad. Yes, he could go to Canada. Yes, yes, yes. A lot of things with the yes, yes, yes. There's already photos out there saying that Shedeur and Shilo could end up in Canada. And I want y'all to know something. That is highly likely. That is highly likely. I don't know if it's true that he already got an offer from Canada, meaning Shilo, but I will tell you this, right? I've been looking at the depth charts going across the league, right? And the NFL has cleared out the third and fourth spots on the depth chart. I'm like, are y'all expecting somebody? All I know is if you about to get drafted, you likely gonna be a third or fourth string. That's what you gonna be. Bringing back Flacco, bringing back Carson Wentz off their couch, and players like Pickett, putting them in QB2 position and have done nothing is what they want to do. So they have cleared house on the threes and on the fours. And in Cleveland, y'all know they got three quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson is the fourth. They said they could bring Huntley back, and so he probably going to be on the practice squad. So I want to take a look because there's some things I want to talk about on the depth chart. But I'm telling you right now, if the Sanders don't start their own league, it's going to be a lot of people having to go to Canada. I'm just going to go and put it out there. Why? Because if you paid attention to YouTube, I posted several legends in the NFL, several famous NFL players' sons were cut in this 53-man roster, right? Coach Prime, obviously Shilo and Shedeur was pigeonholed and announced that he's QB3 because it was announced that Dylan Gabriel is QB2. So again, there's nothing Shedeur can do. And he inching ever so closely out the league. They are going to treat Shedeur as best as they can, like Dorian Thompson-Robinson. They've done this so many times, they can do it in their sleep. It's devaluing you in the draft. And when you get to your team, you're going to be relegated to close to the door. That way, you're going to be with us for a year or two, and you're going to play a few games. Then we're going to sit you next year, and the next year, we're going to trade you. Then you're going to be further down the depth chart. He already 3. Next, he's going to be 4. And then they just gonna boot him out the league. So what you're looking at on your screen is a reality. So what Shedeur learned in the first phase of all of this is that he had to move a certain way. That's what all the angels on his path were about. You need to still be yourself, but you need to understand what this is about. You need to move like you know. This is about racism. This is not about your father. And you can go out there and knock yourself out. And it ain't gonna matter to them. Because that's what he did, right? The Panthers game knocked it out. He should have been a lock for QB2. But what happened next? He got set up and could have got hurt. I just watched a documentary about NFL players with life-threatening injuries, dying at a young age due to neck injuries, right? So I think this next corner for Shedeur is to learn that this might not be what God wants for you. I know that's what you wanted for you. I know that's what your brother wanted for you. That's what a lot of players, that's what Jerry Rice wanted for his son. Who else? Shockingly, Terrell Owens' son, who balled out with the 49ers, got cut. And Jordan Clark, Ryan Clark's son, got cut. And, they say we might put him on the practice squad. And they seem happy with that. And then Shilo might be on the practice squad. It's a lot of nepotism in the NFL. But there's only 2 active quarterbacks who are truly Nepo babies. One is Joe Burrow, and the other is Shedeur Sanders. And you see how Shedeur being treated. Joe Burrow don't get treated like that. Nobody ever called him a Nepo baby. His record is 38-30-1. He about to be, this season, if it don't go well, he gonna be sub 500. But nobody is mistreating him. But Shedeur Sanders is an active Nepo baby. And you see how he being treated. We don't want you. People try to explain it that it's because of the last name Sanders. Nope, that's not it. People try to say that it's just NFL politics. Yeah, racial politics. And as long as you keep playing that game, it's just politics. Okay, you're going to keep finding out it's racial politics because they're trying to tell you that that's what it is. So what you're looking at on your screen is a reality. And I think Shedeur is getting ready to get to the second phase of guys showing him you don't belong here. Not in the way that they say you don't belong here, but you're going to get hurt here. They don't want you here, and they will hurt you. They will hurt you. I was listening to how a quarterback got hurt behind a weak O-line until he just couldn't take it no more. I'm hoping Bryce Young can keep moving forward after being sacked 60-something times. Caleb Williams sacked 67 times, and they just paid his backup $10 million, so you can kind of figure what's going to happen next. CJ Stroud, they asking him, can he trust his O-line? And they know he can't. They know he can't. And you already saw what happened to Shedeur. So if they put him out there, you already know what's going to go down. So he better off at QB3. So Coach Prime, I already have it queued up to share. That Coach Prime, I wanted you to hear what he said regarding Shilo not being in the league, how he feels about it. And of course, I think he said the right things, right? But I can't help but believe that his feelings got to be hurt. His feelings got to be hurt. First in the draft, it happens to Shedeur. And now it's happening to Shilo. And it's the same thing all over again, right? We let you in, maybe because we don't want to look untoward after your brother. We didn't want to make it look personal. And the narrative was always that he was going to get cut. And guess what? He balled out too. After that blitz, he should have been a lock for that 4th string position. But the narrative was there after the blitz on the QB. He wasn't going to make the roster. And what should hurt him is the lengths they're willing to go through to dismiss both of his sons. They willing to hurt Shedeur, his own coach. And you saw Ty Bowles seemingly fighting for Shilo, so they willing to go over the head coach's head and make the decision to dismiss Shilo. They don't have no rules to follow, but he got to follow all the rules. But they set him up. Let's just be real. They set him up. If you don't hear nobody asking for him to be on the practice squad, they set him up, right? So let's just take a listen here and you formulate your opinion and tell me what you think. But I think he said all the right things. I still think that I know that this got to hurt. I do question how it is that you continue to coach forward, because what are you coaching these people to at this point? Are we coaching to get through the college season, the college career? See, I'm of the opinion it's time for Coach Prime to teach these young men not just about NIL, but entrepreneurship when it comes to football. There needs to be other option other than on the field. And if it's going to be on the field, they need to learn about entrepreneurship. And one of their extra credit or special assignments need to be, just like we watched them do what? We watched all of them get their social media up. Well, get that up like you're supposed to do. Now I need you to take it to the next level. When y'all off, I need you to go out here and play 7-on-7, and I want you to stream it. Because this could be your reality after you leave college. I don't think it's a coincidence that a lot of the greats' kids got cut. I just really don't. There's so much nepotism in the NFL. I just find it very strange that when they have the one cut by 4 o'clock, Jerry Rice's son, He went to CU. Then he left CU when Coach Prime came and went to USC. It didn't help. Jordan Clark, he went to Notre Dame where Marcus Freeman is. And for people thinking Marcus Freeman is where you go because you don't want to go where Coach Prime is, they got the same haters trying to get rid of them both. The NFL goes by the one drop rule. I can tell you just by looking at the depth charts on where the black people are positioned that that's how they feel. They don't care about your mixed heritage. They just know you black, and that's enough for them. So running up to Notre Dame because you like, oh, I don't want to go because the league don't like Coach Prime. The same people trying to get rid of Marcus Freeman. They don't want him to be the head coach over there. They go by the one drop rule. They don't care about the rest. They don't slice and dice when it comes to racism like we do. They don't give a damn. So I wish Jordan Clark, his son, best of luck to you. But in terms of where you want to go to school, I mean, you can just go to school anywhere you want right now. Because Oregon got a future NFL player. His dad was Akili Smith. He's Akili Smith Jr. I think he a freshman. I saw Caden Salter with future NFL QB1 on his bio. I hope something changed within the next 2 years. Because if they doing this to Shedeur, and they made Cam compete, and he did get QB1. They announced that he's officially QB1, and that should have never been a question. The fact that they could do that to Cam, who in the draft, they wanted to talk about more than Shedeur, but after the draft, they just didn't talk about him at all. Nor did they talk about that noose that they found at that stadium after his head coach was irresponsible with his words, trying to make Cam look difficult, that coded, thinly veiled language. The same thing that Kevin Stefanski's doing. So I don't know how far you go down this road with the same destination with Jim Crow staring you in the face. I just don't understand it. But maybe I'm not supposed to. So let's take a listen.
Background again. Nice to see you. Hey, just got to talk to you about, NFL is a tough business. Shilo had, some bad. It's just how have you talked to him and how are his spirits?
Most definitely. He's my son. I'm proud of my kids, all of them. And I prepared my kids for any and everything that could possibly happen in life and in sports. That's part of fathering. That's part of parenting. That's part of having a relationship. So he is mentally where he needs to be, physically where he needs to be. We're praying that he gets another opportunity to go with a team. But if he doesn't, the plans have already been put forward to what he's going to do next. So Shilo is a man of many talents. I don't know if you guys know, he's a man of many talents, and he's going to be straight. All the Sanders are going to be straight, with or without football. You better believe that. You better believe that. I take care of mine, and I've always have, and y'all know what I mean. You better believe that.
So essentially, Coach Prime is basically saying his kid is gonna be good with or without football. You notice he's not just talking about Shilo. He know the expectation for Shedeur. Balling out ain't gonna matter. I think they all realize they don't want him there, but they're gonna stay there, rightfully so, until God opens that door. I think the fans have started to realize it don't matter what he do. That's facts. Do I think Shilo gonna get another opportunity? I mean, has it happened yet? Because you would think, Mike Tomlin, Cleveland, it's 9 black GMs out there, right? I mean, are we really expecting a 9 black GM to do it in the climate of Jim Crow in the NFL? There are only 6 black head coaches. We saw Mike Tomlin wasn't finna put his job on the line, but then he also knew what's happening to Shedeur in Cleveland is what they wanted him to do as a black head coach in Cleveland. And he said no. And I applaud him for that. I applaud him for that. Because they let Deshaun Kaiser go 0-15 and his head coach was black. So they wanted Shedeur to be set up by a black head coach. Mike Tomlin said no. So you can't be mad at him for that. But I think they're coming to the realization that it's going to be life without football. But I don't think it has to be that. Y'all know my thing, right? They already said his plans for what's next is laid. That might be the CFL. Then again, maybe he decided to stream it. Maybe it'll click to him at 4 a.m. when he sleep. I'll just go out here and stream. Yes, you can. That's what I want to happen. I want the Sanders to take the mess that the NFL has made, the hot mess, and turn it into a blessing, not for just them, but for everybody else that's getting booted out. For Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice's son. For Terrell Owens' son. You know, I'm just saying, it's Jordan Clark. If he don't get on the practice squad, maybe he'd go out there with them too, because I don't think it's a coincidence all of the second generation black guys are getting booted on out. Don't think it's a coincidence at all. I just think the NFL is telling you how they feel. So Canada could be a reality, but I don't think that's the only thing that could happen. I do think they have opportunities to do their own thing. And maybe that's what he meant. So we're going to have to wait and see. I'm not going to sit by and watch. I'm not going to assume it's not going to happen. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't. I looked at Perkins, Bryce Perkins, who was the UFL champ, and what was it, the MVP? He had 2 relatives. His father had 2 sons in the league, and one is the quarterback, Bryce. They didn't even draft him at all. And as you can see, they was trying not to draft Shedeur. But Burrows didn't have no problem getting drafted. Until these guys, these black NFL players and past and present and future and aspirations admit that Jim Crow is the entryway into the NFL and you're going to have to sign up for that, then it's just going to keep on happening. They're going to keep on coming and keep on getting booted out. That's just what's going to happen. Because they clearing house right now. And they already setting up for whoever coming out next. Y'all going to be 3rd and 4th because we got 1st and 2nd set. And when they ready to get rid of the 3 years and the 4 years, I mean, then you can move up. So, you know, Canada could happen. Coach Prime said he's unfazed. It's the right thing to say, but I think that there are bigger implications for that. I think you must believe that what's happening to them are Sanders if you think that you're going to go to the league and be just fine. That must be what you believe, but it puts Coach Prime in a precarious situation, right? So it's good they're going to be fine without football. It should be we have another route to pro football. And I get it. He don't want to tip his hand, but that's what it should be behind closed doors and not Canada. All right. So that's Coach Prime. You know, everybody got it going. That's the quote on the screen is a young man that played for Coach Prime at Jackson State. Now we follow the Buffs, right, under the Coach Prime era. So people are saying we need to include this young man under Coach Prime era in college football. James Houston. I think he just made the 53-man roster for the Cowboys, but he was already in the league. I think he's played for 2 other teams. So this might be his 3rd team. And we wish him well. And, you know, if you hear about James Houston, he played under Coach Prime at Jackson State. So maybe we'll keep up with him as well. So just FYI, y'all might already know this about James Houston, but there are some people that don't. So I just wanted to put it out there. Okay. So we were talking about why it is that why should do a better off at QB3. Well, I put together the depth chart and we talked about it and we looked at it. And I went back and looked at it again. And we're going to look at it from top to bottom and left to right, horizontal and vertical. Okay. So let me make sure y'all can see what it is I'm looking at. All right. I think we all on the same page here. And then we'll just, I'll explain it to you. Okay. We're just looking at offense right now. First and foremost, what jumped out at me, question mark. I didn't know Quinshon Judkins, is he back? So Quinshon Judkins might be back. If so, these 4 guys right here, Jerome Ford, Quinshon Judkins, Dylan Sampson, and Pierre Strong is who the offense will run through. They know they have, if you go to the QB line, Flacco and Dylan. They're going to have Dylan hand this ball right on off to Quinshon Judkins if he back. If Quinshon is not back, it's either going to be Jerome Ford or Dylan Sampson. They know Dylan can't handle the pressure. They know he can't handle a real scenario, but you can see he's efficient when it comes to just handing off the ball. That's going to be his job to get through the season. Flacco, to get him to extend past half the season, you're going to have to do the same thing with him. Now, one of these two going to end up getting hurt. Flacco throws the ball. He don't have to hand it off. But the way to extend life for him to play and lock the season up with Joe and Dylan is to use the 4 running backs. And if y'all know Quinshon Judkins is back, let me know. But, it seemed like he's back. So let's go vertically. So Flacco is good, up and down, right? He got his wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, Thrash, and Joe Koo. Now, when we get to the dotted line, that's where the offensive line start. As you can see, it's a lot of question marks from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Now, regardless of who the starters are, regardless of who the quarterback is, meaning Dylan should be also playing with this first string O-line. And they should only be going from DeJuan Jones to Cornelius Lucas if he's not injured, because they need to rotate or DeJuan is underperforming. I already heard he's not good. And again, all these question marks right here need to be filled. If not, they just going to have the first string and second string. And as you can see, you have 3 of this group injured. So in my opinion, this is negligence. Not anything to write home about, but that's what it is. Then you have Dylan over here. He should be playing with the first string. But if something happens, DeJuan underperforming, Ethan is injured for sure, then they're going to have to go with Luke, and Cornelius is hurt. So if Cornelius is hurt and there's nobody at the 3 and the 4, they're going to be with DeJuan unless one of these other guys named Luke, Zach, or Keelan is going to have to be in DeJuan's spot as a left tackle. That ain't going to work, because left tackles and right tackles are different, and not everybody is ambidextrous. But Cornelius Lucas is, but he's injured. So they brought him in, and he's a question mark. And they don't have nobody else behind him. So let's go over to where Shedeur is. Now, what they did to Shedeur in the game is let him play with the 3s and the 4s. As you can see, they cleared them out. So the 3s and the 4s don't exist no more. So if for whatever reason Shedeur get in, he's going to have the first team or a hybrid of the first team and the second team, just if the first team is underperforming. So if Boitano, and that's the one they hang their hat on, is healthy, that's going to be the guy that protects for him. But if it's not Boitano, guess who it's going to be at left guard? Remember number 74 in the Panthers game that blew his assignment? Jenkins, that's who it's going to be. So Shedeur not in a good situation in Cleveland. He's not in a good situation because racial politics and Jim Crow is the order of the day. People are saying Stefanski and I guess the GM don't want to look simple or incompetent for drafting 2 quarterbacks, and they just staying with Dylan because, we picked him first, we paying him more money. That's BS. They didn't draft Shedeur. He got sent there just like Deshaun Watson. If you don't believe Deshaun Watson contract didn't come from some type of retaliation, I remind you to go back and watch the video where we went through and read the collusion document when it came to Russell Wilson. Does anybody remember the part that I read that said that the new owner of the Denver Broncos was going to give Russell Wilson almost a $400 million extension 2 years early? And the other owners came and told him, no, you can't do that, because if you give him that, they all gonna want it. You don't think that would have happened with Cleveland giving Deshaun $230 million? You don't think the other owners would have said the same thing? You can't do that. Because if you give Deshaun that, then everybody else gonna want it. You know what they said? His contract is an anomaly, a one-time deal, and nobody else can get it. Deshaun Watson was sent to Cleveland. And it's part of the reason why they have a new stadium coming and they haven't done anything. It's also part of the reason why insurance company is paying Deshaun Watson's full salary this year. So for all the people crying about Cleveland paying Deshaun and he injured, Cleveland ain't paying Deshaun. The insurance company has decided to pay Deshaun. And I know how insurance companies work. And with Deshaun out here running around and he healthy, I wouldn't give you a dime. So how they manage that, I don't know. But that's who's paying Deshaun Watson's salary. And if he injured next year, they're going to pay it too. So for people that don't understand, Shedeur was not drafted. He was sent to Cleveland. Do you see how poorly run that organization is? It tells you that Shedeur wasn't going to ever get what he wanted to get. And that's the first class rookie experience with him being an elite first round, first year starter. It also means that Deshaun Watson just going to get the money, but you're not going to ever get what you want. And that's to be a star in this league again. They were sent there. Hell, prove me wrong. So as you can see here on the depth chart, under where Shedeur is, this means he don't have nobody. And if these other guys are not doing well, and some of the new guys like Cornelius and Jenkins don't have the chemistry with the rest of the team, it's just going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess because I think they said one of these guys over here as a starter has a back injury. So he going to be playing injured and they have to get through 17 games. Heaven forbid they get to the postseason. You're going to get there with this bunch. So I'm assuming that Andrew Berry is running around trying to replace the goon squad that they just cut. But what does that mean? They have to learn the system. They have to learn the plays. They have to bond and build chemistry. They'll be more than halfway. They'll be on the back end of the season by the time that happens because everybody they bringing in didn't go through training camp. They don't know the system. They don't know each other. You need time to gel. It's going to be the back half of the season. So if it happens, if they get more people, Shedeur can get out there on the back half of the season. It's not what he wants, but considering the treacherous environment that he's in with his own coach willing to get him hurt, that's what's best for him. So now you have a visual as to why it is Shedeur is better off at QB3. Let Dylan go out there with this ragtag bunch. Let him go out there. And if you ask me, they put him out there so he could look bad. And I think what they really want to do, and I'm going to be honest with you because Andrew Berry said it. We know Shedeur going to outproduce his draft stock, but we're not about to jeopardize our jobs and we draft Dylan first. So we're just going to let Dylan be the QB2 and, gas him up a little bit. And we're going to put him out there in the regular season. They can't bubble wrap him in the regular season. Yes, I can pass off the ball, but at some point you're going to have to throw it. At some point you're going to have to throw it. And, when you're in the game, it's fast paced. You're not practicing against people who just, slowly but surely trying not to get injured. You're going to be practicing against the ones and the twos, not Philadelphia's fours, who are probably also released from the team. I think they're going to put Dylan out there and just say sink or swim. And if he sink, they're going to move him the hell out the way and get Shedeur to save the season for $950,000 as opposed to the $8 million they were planning to pay him. Thankfully, he got them jerseys. That's what I think is getting ready to happen. They know Joe Flacco is part-time. People said that Kenny Pickett was supposed to be the starter, but he got hurt. They just traded Kenny Pickett, who was hurt when he left Cleveland at a QB2 to Vegas, and he's on their roster at a QB2. When the hell does he get a demotion? He's injured. How is he a QB2? Because they're using him to block. And Vegas then released Cam Miller. They talking about that was Tom Brady pick. I'm like, oh, maybe they're mad with him. So they drafted Cam Miller from North Dakota State, put him on the roster instead of getting Shedeur, and they done cut him. And they done brought Kenny Pickett over there after he blocked Shedeur from reps. So yeah, it's politics happening, but it's racial politics. It's racial politics. Usually the league dabbles in nepotism because of the DNA. When it comes to the quarterback, they don't want his DNA. Shilo just collateral damage to make people keep thinking this is about Coach Prime. All right, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. So this is why Shedeur is better off at the back of the depth chart. He can still get to the front when these guys right here at the bottom with all these question marks get on the team, learn the plays, can be trusted, and then he could get out there. Shedeur being QB3 is protection, because look at this mess on this depth chart. Instead of developing players to be available for the season, they use them as a goon squad to set Shedeur up. They tried it in the Panthers game, but he got away from it. But he didn't get away from it in this game, and now they gone. Do you see all of these empty spaces? So now you got to run out here and get some other people, when you could have actually developed these players. But since you use them as a goon squad, you have no choice but to get rid of them. And maybe it's up to, I don't know, some reporters and journalists to go figure out who they are and find them and ask them what the hell is going on. But you're not going to tell me this makes any sense to dismiss this many people when you a week away from the season. That means you don't care about this season. You just cared about having an employable group of people at your disposal who you could use to set Shedeur up as your goon squad. And they were already dismissed before they woke up the next morning. That's what a hit job looks like. So that's why he's better off. That's why he's better off. You have the visual. That's what it is. All right. So I promised y'all we were going to start talking and looking into Babe by What She Said Sports. Well, the first couple up that I just want to show some love to the Cutie Pies. That's probably going to have me watching basketball next year, because, again, don't see me watching as much football as I was planning on it right now. So they my plan B. The NBA could come back in end of September, beginning of October, which is, football season. So if things go south there, then I'll be watching basketball. My favorite basketball couple on your screen just got engaged. And Donovan Mitchell and Coco Jones, the R&B singer. So they're engaged to be married. They look cute. They were sidelined, I think, at a New York Liberty game. So I was excited to see that. Y'all know that Meg Thee Stallion and what's his name? Klay Thompson, they date. So you'll probably be seeing me, talk about them. But for now, we're going to go into Janiah's gallery. I curated some clips that we're going to look at. But before we do that, let me show y'all something. Remember, I talked about the whole streaming thing, right? And people say, oh, it'll never work. I said these guys that got cut, like Shilo, who has robust engagement, I said they need to, They need to get together and stream. And people point to the big three and how well that has worked out. And I noticed that the big three, when I watch the games, they have a lot of sponsors. Well, it's true. They started with nothing, with the very bottom, and have built it into a valuable league that's taking market share away from the NBA. In addition, you have college basketball players staying in college for NIL. Now, college basketball players make more than football players in college and in the NFL. Let's just say it in the NBA. NBA players make more than NFL players. And when you have college players who play basketball choosing to stay in college, whether it's the WNBA or the NBA, that should tell you something. That should tell you they prefer that experience. So the big three that started out of thin air, like I'm saying these guys should do, started out of thin air, has a partnership with Red Lobster, right? And again, people are saying that this can't be done. These guys can't do this. Tell that to Ice Cube, who actually, put together just a brand out of, I think it should exist. I think there should be a league where former players get together and play basketball. And it works. And to put together a partnership with Red Lobster, who has a new CEO, I think it just takes relationship building, but it takes, if you don't ask, closed mouth don't get fed. That's why I say these guys need to get out here, and they need to just go out there, just like Ice Cube did. Just believe in yourself and go stream 11v11 or 7v7. Own the rights to it. It's going to grow. There's a market for it. Why is it that when the guys are cut from the NFL, they don't ever think to be like the big three and just go out here and play together and stream it? And then you too gonna end up with brand sponsorships. So you got to start somewhere. And I think all of this mess that's happening, because the NFL is a hot mess. What it's trying to do, enforce Jim Crow. This is your perfect opportunity to take this mess and turn it into a springboard for what could be your NFL version of the big three. So let's get over to Janiah's gallery. I curated some clips, and we just want to support her. Janiah's gallery, that's the page. Go follow her. Her page is growing. She's getting more subs, and I just think it's fun and I think it's cute. So we just want to, encourage her. So we're gonna share it, and I just think it's something different, and it's a part of my bay about what she said sports segment. All right, let me make sure that y'all can see what's on my screen, and we're gonna hit the play button. Okay, I gotta put Coach Prime back up here and switch. Okay, there we go. All right.
Beach is right there. Yeah, that's the
a staycation. Because they both from Florida.
Very humid out here. Very, very humid. Hot. But it's hot outside and then too cold inside.
It's really not hot out here.
It's humid. Yeah, there's no sun. It's just dry.
Do y'all know where they from? Like what part of Florida? Are they from Florida? Where are they from?
Earlier.
Yeah, it's just very dry.
I'm just saying, let me know, because I don't really know where they're from. So somebody gonna have to tell me. That's what John say.
How we doing today?
Good. How you doing?
So I just love them as a couple. I love them as a couple because they always together. They like being each other's company. You can see that they in love with each other. You can see that they're each other's future. They're into each other. That's what I like about it.
Okay. All right, come on, let's pray.
They get ready to pray before they food.
Thanks for this day. Thanks for the blessing and opportunity. As food and nutrition to our body and soul. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. So this was their trip when they were headed over to Atlanta. So you could just go watch the video. It's a long video. We're gonna move over to another clip that I curated. This was when they were moving to Baltimore. This was after he got drafted. So the one we just watched was when they were in Miami on vacation. So now, hold on one second. So now we're actually watching when I think she moved or they moved to Baltimore in a shopping hall. And their shopping trip was cute. You could tell that somebody had come into some money because they were spending. I'm not mad though. They've been together since FAU, before CU. She was 7 weeks without him while he was at training camp. That's his boo. And, she's a creative. She said she was looking for a job because she want to find something she could do because she got a lot of time on her hands. But she does hair. And I was like, if you do hair, I need you to do hair in Baltimore.
Yeah, look how she got sitting straight up.
Oh, the seat sitting straight up. That's hilarious.
Look at this, y'all.
No, that's how the rental company gave me.
I don't even know how to put this up. Oh my God.
It's so funny.
We back.
But they're moving, y'all.
Baltimore, shorty.
We're going to go look at our new place.
Oh.
Yo.
Oh, they so cute. Oh, they so cute.
My girl back. She in Baltimore. She just touched down. Hey, about to go look at a new place, though. Yes, Lord.
We're gonna go see it. My guys.
I think they're from Florida. Are they from Florida? I keep asking because I'm just like, are they from Florida? Does anybody know if they from Florida? Because they got some accents. And I'm like, they're not from Baltimore, clearly, because she just moved there. But they got together. This is where they were separate for 7 weeks because of training camp. And now she's there. They officially moving there. They went to check out their apartment. So y'all go check that one out. And we got one more to check out. We got one more. I think I curated 3. I think this is like the game day. It could be 4. It could be 4. So let's just see. Let's see.
The sun is like jumping. Not too much now.
It's game day,
Let
y'all.
me take that back because I don't want it jumping like crazy.
It's game day, okay?
I just need to jump in a little bit.
And she made the hat in the T. It said 83. She made that. It's in the video. She showed you how she made it.
Okay. The tap isn't working on this one, and I don't feel like going inside. So we're about to find a pump that actually got.
Oh, she trying to get gas before the game.
Let's see if the one in the back got tap working. Fuel door open. Yeah, I know.
All right, let's see. I think I have another one. Okay, we'll go with this one.
The purple. A little glittery.
See, she made
now we're going to work on our hat.
It says Wester 83, just in case you can't see it.
And yeah, we're going to be done with the outfit.
Good morning. It is game day. I'm slowly not becoming a morning person. It's 6:45. Yeah.
So what are you wearing today, Superstar?
So it's game day. Superstar. That's what she called him.
Okay.
Jante done bulked up in the arms.
Because it matches the shirt with shoes.
I'm up to the facility. I'm gonna go white force. But I get them from
They so cute to me.
I think you should go white forces, period. Yeah.
So they just getting ready to go. This day morning routine on game day. It's super early. So she got to drop him off.
It's 6:50 in the morning.
6:50. This day place, y'all. Y'all can see some of it.
Game starts at 12.
You know, the rookies got to be there a little early, guys.
I don't know what's worse. This or Colorado. Y'all had that 10 a.m. game. I think Colorado's worst. Because I have to be up at like 4 a.m.
Oh, my.
to get ready.
So they had a 10 a.m. game at CU. I kind of remember that. Anybody remember that?
Well, this is behind the scenes, guys, of preseason game. We're up. Well, he's been up way before me, so now he's getting dressed, and now we're gonna leave. I don't think there's nothing much to it.
So she drops
on games, like if it was like a later game, then yeah, there would be more to it. But since this game's starting very early today, what time you gotta be there? You gotta be there at 7. Oh, okay.
So they them in the bathroom getting ready. They do everything together. Work out together, get dressed together.
No, tighten it if you wanted to.
Is it cool like this?
Yeah, it's fine.
I love them.
Can you do shots like this too?
Do you want it to?
Yeah. Stop, stupid. No, see it, but then jump. Woo!
That's what a man loves is when it just happens.
Already got ready.
Dejounte has put on some weight.
You couldn't just go along.
I already got ready and shit just waking up. On game day, I'm up early.
Because he has to be up early. We have to be up early. I don't have to be up early.
They so cute to me.
Skincare.
Check. She does makeup tutorials if y'all like that sort of thing.
What's next?
Put his bling on.
Show them your bling.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing on my cardio.
You do look big in that shirt.
Uh-huh.
That shirt make you look
Tell me that.
You
do. It's a little tattoo.
Oh Lord. All right. So y'all go watch Janiah's gallery. Y'all go watch it. They are so funny to me. I think I watched them all already. I watched when they went shopping. I watched when they were in Atlanta. I watched the game, all 3 games. She have them vlogged up there. Y'all people are showing her love in the comments. So y'all show her some love. Go binge watch it if you haven't seen any of it. She have when they go back all the way to the draft and everything. So go check it out, Janiah's gallery, y'all. That's part of my Bay segment. So I want y'all to go and watch it because we're gonna be doing this more often, right? So I always like to have things to kind of end on a good note or start with a good note. So I kind of need to work in the Bay segment. So I hope that y'all like it. And if you don't know what I'm saying, here's a photo of it. It's Bay by What She Said Sports. So that's what that is. So we're gonna hop over to the comments and see what y'all talking about. Love and sports talk. This is where love, sports, and relationships meet up, Bay. So you already saw me talking about Janiah and I think she called herself Naya. Janiah and LaJante. And I want to do, I guess, a little piece on Coco and Donovan Mitchell and Coco Jones, because they just got engaged. They had some cute photos from that. So stay tuned for more Bay Love and Sports Talk, where love, sports, and relationships meet up by What She Said Sports. All right, so let's get back into what we normally are talking about. Let's hop into the comments, see what y'all are saying. And let me see what's on y'all's mind. And y'all gonna see me slide in my little NASCAR minute too. Because, I don't know if y'all know, but Flage, see, I told y'all NASCAR is showing love to the culture. Flage was the one with the flag at the Daytona 500. That's what it's called. The Daytona race they had this past week. And they had her with the flag and she was wearing a Coca-Cola suit. You know how they have all the logos and stuff on it. So they're showing love to the culture. I want y'all to just kind of look into NASCAR. If you're already a NASCAR fan, drop me a little race car in the chat. I'm loving it more and more. It's time for the playoffs. So Bubba Wallace, Raj Caruth, those are 2 of the racers that I follow closely. Then there's LeVar Scott is the 3rd one. And I find NASCAR very intriguing because of the whole skill set of how when you're on a track in a pile of cars to get out of it. And Bubba Wallace, when he won the Brickyard 400, he was running out of gas. And they had what they call these overtime laps, where he just had to keep going around. And he had to be skilled enough to know how to get to the finish at number 1, running out of gas. So I was just impressed. So y'all check that out. All right. So Truth Ain't True. Let's see what we're talking about. Truth Ain't True says, do you have any information on Charlie Goodell, Roger Goodell's black nephew who played for Coach Prime? No, other than he played for Coach Prime. That's all I know. You meant what happened to him after that? No, I just know Roger Goodell was at one of the games. I thought it was his grandson. I thought it was his grandson was on the roster at Jackson State. That's all I know. And I think they went to the Celebration Bowl. So that's all I know. I could look it up and see what happened, but I didn't know his name. So thank you for telling me that. And if anybody have any update on that situation, feel free to drop it in the chat about Goodell's. And what made you ask? Truth ain't true. What made you ask about that? Are you wondering about something? Let me know your thought behind asking the question. I'm just curious. So thank you for the support. It says Sanders will get his chance or maybe traded. He don't need the Browns. He has a winning record, right? But here's the point. Here's the point that I think people realize, that there was absolutely nothing Shedeur could do to beat out Dillon. In fact, as a 5th string pick that they kept telling you he shouldn't have never been competing for the starting spot. So why would they even allow that? And that's where I said, I think they're going to put Dillon out there and let him look bad. And then they're going to pivot to Shedeur, unless they think they have a foolproof way of keeping Shedeur from playing all season. Because he can go out there and win and ball out. It's not going to matter. That's where we are, right? They're not going to let him get in front of Dillon unless Dillon bomb. And then they still might bring in somebody else. Hey, everybody. How you doing? How you doing? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Greatest chat room, straight facts, no bull. Absolutely. Absolutely. And say, what's up, fam? This is absurd. These NFL owners, plantation mentality, exploiters. It said they're going to pimp, play, and hustle him if fans allow it. Boycott is in order. People said they're actually boycotting in Cleveland, political Lil. And without us being connected to them, I don't have anybody on the ground to keep me posted. You know, it's up to us to find out what's going on. Like if somebody come in our chat, maybe we could get them to let us know what's going on. But people have been coming to my comment section and say they are boycotting the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. So we'll see what that looks like. We'll see. It said, cut American talent. Go to Canada and make the NFL of the Great North, especially in this social media age. Right, TW, and just stream it. I say, take your ball, go home, and stream it. It said, Max say, I know Shilo hurt. Right, of course he is. And somebody was telling me there was a post going around earlier, but they couldn't get back to it. You know how when you scrolling and sometimes it go and you can't get back to it? That I don't know if it's true that Shilo had put out a statement saying that if Atlanta gave him a chance, this, that, and the other. And I said, well, Atlanta did wish Coach Prime a happy birthday. So maybe something could happen there. And they cut Kobe Bryant, who I think was a cornerback for Kansas. Y'all remember him? He was chirping at Travis. They cut him today. The Falcons did. So I don't know. But yes, Mac, I believe I know he hurt too because it's a lifelong dream. But it's a lesson. It's the lesson. I hate to say it. It's a costly lesson. It's an expensive lesson. It's the lesson about what's really going on, right? It's the lesson about what really matters to them. It said from what it sounded like, what Shedeur said after the game, he sounded like to me he's ready to leave. I think he's basically saying, I'm good if I don't make it. I'm not shocked if I don't make it. Why would he be? What we saw was enough to tell us that Stefanski don't want him there. The owner doesn't want him there. That's what we see. Imagine what's happening where we can't see. So I think he was just saying, this is the last time this group going to play together. I know at some point his heart is going to change. His heart is going to go from, okay, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. And I hate to say it, but God is waiting on Shedeur to get to that point before it happens because you already balled out for them. They don't want you. So, I told you God don't leave his people nowhere where they're not appreciated. And you could ball out for them. You could win them the Super Bowl. They will go get another quarterback that's white because that's what they want to do. So if he being protected enough to not get injured by this O-line that's out here, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's the way it's going to go. That's the way it's going. We have to see what God going to do. And some people think God going to turn it around. Not necessarily. God could just wait until Shedeur's heart has had enough and he realized this is what it's going to be. They don't appreciate me. There was a reason why he was growing in his faith before this process. Now you see he was going to need that to make it. That's precisely why. It said the only way to defeat racism of this nature is a parallel system. It's time for the demonic system to end. Right. What they need is to start their own. That's the parallel system. And I'm not saying you can't go to Canada. But again, jumping out the fire into the frying pan it's not gonna matter. They have racism in Canada, right? Somebody was in our comments talking about it the other day. Start your own league. And this little circle that they caught up in, this is going to keep happening until somebody decide to go out there with a camera that can live stream and record it so they can see. And then one day they're gonna do it and they're gonna be like, damn, we should have been did this. Yes, but they won't do it. And my voice just doesn't have the reach to get there yet. We did get to 5,000. We're gonna keep going. But God can put it on Shiloh's heart, right? But he still has to do it. He still has to do it. They all do. They all have the same opportunity to get together. And that's one of the problems that the NFL creates. It divides the players. When they coming out of college, they already divided up by who they play for. And when they get on the same teams, it's supposed to be when they reunite. But as you could see, the first stringers were intimidated from coming around Shedeur. So they get divided up. So now that it's all said and done, they dispersed all over the place. But what Shilo should do is go out there with him and somebody else from Tampa that didn't make it in Tampa, where they created a community. And the NFL didn't care about that either. And just fall out. Just go play football and record it and stream it. It's going to work. It's going to work. So I just think the mentality that the NFL has divides them, and they don't think to come back together on their own. That's what I think. Think about how many times Shilo went live and he had somebody else with him. I'm a Shedeur fan, and Shedeur fans should be happy. They had enough confidence in Shedeur to trade Pickett. Yeah, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. That's not what happened. I'm like, do not think if they had enough confidence to trade Pickett to keep Shedeur, then Shedeur will be QB2. But to trade Pickett because they had confidence in Shedeur at QB3, did you see this depth chart? That ain't confidence. That's not confidence at all. Because if they had that, they should have had that at the end of mandatory camp. And then when they came back to training camp, Shedeur should have had all the reps that Pickett had. And when Pickett got hurt, Shedeur should have had all the reps that Pickett had. So now they have confidence in him after they go out there and set him up. That ain't confidence that made that decision. That's y'all. That's what it is. I'm like, y'all have no idea, if you're not paying closely attention, how people have turned up on Stefanski's head. And I told y'all earlier, if you didn't hear me say it, they have gone from saying Shedeur Sanders fans to Colorado fans to black fans. That's what gave them the confidence to do it. They was going to do it anyway. So those people in Cleveland have absolutely no respect for Shedeur Sanders at all. We all know it's not about football or talent. It's about attempting to quiet Coach Prime, hurting his sons, to stop recruiters from going to Colorado. I will tell you they trying to hurt the Colorado program. I'll tell you that. But they not trying to quiet Coach Prime. Because Cam Ward is not related to Coach Prime. This is about racism at the top of what you said. We all know it's not about football or talent. It's about racism. That's what you should be saying. And then when you get to the bottom where it says to stop recruiters from going to Colorado, I'll take that. I'll take that. It's not about football or talent. It's about racism. And to stop recruiting at Colorado for Coach Prime. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's that all those boys wanted to do is play ball and they don't deserve it. Right. And they willing to upend it and throw them off the roster and go pay attention to who they get. I'm just saying. They cleaning house on the 3s and 4s, right? Shilo made the Titans' first string tight end look like a 4th-string player. Right. Shilo wasn't a bad player, but the narrative was always there. They were going to cut him. The narrative was always there. And that's how you know it's not about Coach Prime, because what Jimmy Horn got to do with Coach Prime? LeJontay. It said now they wanted to look personal. Right. They wanted to look personal so that what Eric Dickerson said doesn't ring true in your mind. What did Eric Dickerson say? They wanted to teach Shedeur a lesson. So fans think it's about Coach Prime, And the NFL is telling you it's about Shedeur. And it is about Shedeur, but not because they want to teach him a lesson. It's about Shedeur because he's a black quarterback. Why is he the only Colorado Buff to have the toughest time? Because he's the only quarterback. This is racism towards black quarterbacks, which is not new for the NFL. It's not a coincidence. They're sending a message. Facts. They are letting you know. They are definitely sending a message. You can come on out of college if you want to as a black quarterback, but we didn't clear it off the 3s and the 4s for you. You see what Shedeur at. Lawrence Sellers' father should have took that money. I'm glad Juju just getting started. Hopefully by the time he finished, somebody else has started another league, because I don't know how you fix this. They're not scared of lawsuits. They don't care. They done paid $1 billion. It don't matter. I guess the fans just going to have to get together and maybe do a class action lawsuit, maybe up into $5 or $10 billion, and let's see how long and how old you're going to be when they make it through the court system. That's why start your own 7-on-7, 11v11. We'll see tomorrow afternoon. Yep. They said it's been nepotism in everything these guys do. Right. It's nepotism all over the NFL. I watched the documentary today. All over the place. The least is at the least for black players. It's a lot for black players too. Like the second generations, like Pat Surtain, Asante Samuels Jr., Porter. It's a lot of people. But when it comes to the quarterback position, Joe Burrow, that's still active. Of course, the Mannings, Andrew Luck. But we're talking who's active, right? Joe Burrow and Shedeur Sanders, and he didn't make the documentary because the documentary came out before him. But when you Google NFL players, second generation who have kids in the NFL at quarterback, Shedeur Sanders is the only one outside of Burrow. So it lists Coach Prime. Black Diamond said that's one thing he made clear today. When asked the question about his sons with it, he addressed it perfectly, stating that he has covered many different scenarios with the sons, meaning they're good, right? And they're good. And that's the right thing to say, but I don't think it has to be without football. I think they need to do their own thing. I think they have too much clout and engagement not to do it, and I think it might be necessary, and he just hadn't got to the point where he sees that yet. It said Sanderson's auto repair outside of football. He made that clear. What? It said this is Shedeur's team now, and these are his teammates. We should root for them. Good luck to you, Adam. Good luck to you. I don't know how it's his team at the third string. It wasn't his team the other day when he was getting sacked and on the sideline. Yeah, okay. And they definitely don't want Prime to elevate. Coach Prime is not going to be an NFL head coach, people. I don't know what make y'all think that the NFL going to change their minds. God going to change his mind before the NFL change theirs. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going to be there because they're not going to do the right thing. Coach Prime said before the draft, when people were talking about him being a coach, he said he didn't have to interview for a head coaching job. Do you still think that's the case? See, what people don't understand is when it comes to racism and the perceived threat of black people taking over, something that white people hold near and dear to them, or just a perception that we're going to outnumber them, it gets wicked. It gets wicked. Look at the things that happen to black people. Whether you want to go pre-slavery, during slavery, post-slavery, pre-Jim Crow, or Trayvon Martin. What are you doing over here? You don't belong. That's what this is about. You don't belong. When I was listening to the documentary about the nepotism, the Nepo babies in NFL, they kept saying it over and over. So-and-so proved they belong. Why you gotta belong? I thought we was just playing football. That's how they feel. That Coach Prime worked for them, but he doesn't belong. Shedeur Sanders at quarterback, you don't belong because of how they feel about the quarterback position, the face of the team. You don't belong. If they felt like he belonged, they would have drafted him at number 2 overall. They don't want Shedeur to be their franchise QB. And I know that gotta hurt him. If I were Canada, I'd be tossing money at the good talent that's been cut. It said, this is huge. In about 3 years, it will blow the NFL out the water, viewership-wise. I mean, yeah, because they are booting out a lot of black talent. Yeah. It says Shilo does music, acting, modeling, and several things. He does, but he doesn't have to give up football. Why is the option go do something totally different if it's not the NFL? That's what I said on the beginning of my second podcast. Go out there, play football, and stream it. At least try that first. Because obviously your love is football. You've been playing it since you were in what? Elementary school? So why does it have to be he can go do something else? Why he just can't stream his own football? Him 11v11. Why is that an option that keeps not coming up over? That should be the next thing. When you see the WNBA Unrivaled basketball do it, to the point where the WNBA tried to sabotage Unrivaled ratings because it was doing well. The big three, the NBA fought the big three, and the big three is actually doing really well. To the point where kids are staying in school, so the NBA is hurting for views and ratings and everything else. That can be the NFL. Just go start the big three in football. Why can't basketball get it done? But football can't get it done. And I'm talking men's basketball, women's basketball. They play way more games than football. You mean to tell me you can't play 11 or 17 games on some Saturdays, on Wednesdays, and stream it for 3 hours? You got to go rearrange your whole life because it can't be the NFL. You got to go all the way to Canada rather than just going to a park and streaming a damn game for 3 hours. Why is that not an option that occurs to people? He could be on Power and BMF next week. Yep, he could. It's that all sports media is walking back their statements, especially Stephen A. Smith. What you mean, Gail? It said Jerry Rice accused the league of cheating and colluding. Now his son, too, pays the price. It said, please just let me know when you here in Florida. Huh? It said, what's going on in sports is the new Jim Crow. Thank you. Better recognize. It said they don't need the money than to get into other leagues. You ain't gotta stay in the States, right? I told you, once they get halfway international games, it's a wrap. And I don't know how they don't see it. I don't know how they don't see that they are cleaning house. Maybe people see what they want to see. Maybe people see what they want to see. Because a certain functional people has been saying they would be in drive-thrus working, which is retarded, which is ridiculous. Because, again, there's so many options between here and there. Between the NFL and the drive-thru. Start your own 7-on-7 league. If not, go be a Twitch streamer. If not, start a podcast. If not, start a business. I mean, there's so many things you could do. But the only people who say things like that, 1, are small-minded, and 2, are haters. 54 million. It feels like since they traded Pickett, they still want to use and abuse Shedeur, right? Because it ain't about Pickett. He was just there to make the room seem crowded. Of course, that's what I mean. That's not going to change. That's not going to change. Look at C.J. Stroud. He put that team on his back in his rookie year, and he paying the price for it right now. He don't even look the same. Because that's what happens when you get sacked excessively. Now, if Dylan start getting sacked excessively, guess who they're going to put out there? So the coach lied about Pickett started. I mean, I don't know how you believe anything Stefanski say. I really don't know how you believe anything the media says when they all saying the same thing, because that meant they had a meeting about it. Shilo said they call me Mr. Tibbs. Yep. Man, all Stefanski do is lie, right? I don't know why anybody would think Stefanski has any credibility. That man tried to get his own quarterback hurt. They keeping Shedeur for tickets. Nope, they keeping Shedeur so he don't go to Canada. Let me know when Canada's season ends. Then he could go. I would be glad when the official lawsuit against the NFL come to fruition. They are buried in court. And they're going to be buried in court. Hopefully one of them move forward. We know we just got to Brian Flores' lawsuit, got the green light to go to court, to go to a jury trial, but they want to appeal it and they're going to drag it out. The other one, I don't even know if it made it past frivolity yet. So they're going to make it go slow. That's what they pay big bucks for. Coach Prime team has a collusion lawsuit ready to go. Well, they might want to get going because it's going to take it a while to get somewhere. If you notice, it's 2 in court and they not going nowhere. One just got the green light and the other one is just, Prime gonna stay quiet. I mean, I'm gonna be there for 5 more years, and these kids want to go to the league. The moment I let it up that I'm gonna attack the NFL, that's gonna hurt recruiting. So, it's not a hopeless situation. I just think you got to be realistic about what's happening. I think you have to be realistic to understand that they trying to get rid of you. I could have let you go to Canada when. Before the combine, the NFL said they don't want quarterbacks like Shedeur. Why didn't I let that happen? Because I know you good. So now I got you over here for 4 years, unless you're going to retire. And he good. He can just retire. He can retire and give back whatever money he ain't got yet. You can retire. David Carr retired and had to give back $30 million. I think it was a player named Calvin Johnson retired, had to give back his signing bonus. Shedeur can retire. He ain't got paid nothing, so he don't owe nothing. He don't make that kind of money nowhere. Maybe his signing bonus, but if he didn't get that back, and if he did, what are we talking, $146,000? I'm sure he got that in his shoe. He can retire, but he got to be ready to give up his NFL career, and I don't think he is. People just got to be realistic about what's going on. I believe they would try to make another Major League Football. It don't have to be Major League Football. Here's the thing about the NFL. The NFL is arrogant, okay? If you get somebody like Shilo and Destroying together and start playing 7-on-7, they don't think nothing of it for a while. But they're going to keep tabs on it. And then when they start getting sponsors, they still not going to do anything about it, but they're going to keep tabs on it. And then if it blow up, then they're going to want to buy into it. Why do you think the NFL is using the UFL as a G League? Just last year, Caleb Williams, who got sacked 68 times this past season, wanted to bypass and forego the NFL to go play for the UFL. Suddenly, the NFL uses the UFL as a G League. Where did they get Perkins from? Bryce Perkins, the UFL. So a lot of these black players that's getting cut, that's what they tell them to go do that, and we'll get you for cheap in the UFL. That's why they need to start their own. They can't control it unless you give them the control, right? Compete. Don't be scared. It's going to work. They just want you to think it's not going to work. See, the NFL know these guys that they turn loose every year like this. They know they're not going to go start another league. It must be something in the water. Because the competitor in me says, hey, we're going to meet up at this park at 10 a.m. and we're going to play a game. I'm going to need you to stream it. Bring your light. Yeah, that's what the competitors do. But they have killed their competitive spirit. Detroit Lions is one James Houston. Oh, yeah. He was with the Lions, but he with the Cowboys now. That's him. It's time for them to make a move on the boycott. He's going to have to start in Cleveland. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. If Cleveland don't do it, then how you going to do it? You're not there. You have to physically make the stadium be empty. And if you were never going, then you can't help. That's like Target, staying away, right? We don't go there. So it has to be people in Cleveland, unless you just going to go to Cleveland and not go. And that don't make no sense. It has to be people in Cleveland. And I don't think their fan base is united. I think their fan base is fragmented and divided along racial lines for the most part, because the black people upset about what's happening to Shedeur. That's why they said the black fans. They mean black NFL fans. So that's why I said, let's see if they can make that happen up there. If you're not already going to the games and don't have season tickets, you can't cancel them. That's what they care about. That's what they care about. And I don't know who has season tickets in Cleveland to make that kind of impact. Canada is established. Coach starting a new league would take investors. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It don't take no investors to go stand outside and play football for 3 hours. That's what people don't understand. This is so simple. I watched Cam Newton do this with 7-on-7. I watched Destroying do this by streaming with 7-on-7. They have sponsors. He didn't need millions of dollars to just play football. He charged the players a fee for tournaments. That's it. That's it. That's how you make money. A fee for playing. And when I went and I posted it, I asked and interviewed people, where did y'all come from to play in this tournament? Some came as far away as Mississippi for 4 hours. Cam Newton has a waiting list for kids to join his 7-on-7 team. The kids that do play for him year over year get D1 big time scholarships. One of them is Travis Hunter, Travis's brother. That's how Travis Hunter was known, because he played for Cam Newton too. If they can do it at 7-on-7, how the hell can you not do it with 11-on-11? They have sponsors. It's a big deal. People come from 4 hours to come. When Destroying started his 7-on-7 or sometime 1v1s, he just started streaming and people started showing up. Then he would tell people where they're going to be. Then a lot of people start showing up. Then they went to this town. Then they start giving away $10,000. Then it got crowded. They needed security. I think people underestimate. Look at Rucker Park, right? How many people just showed up to Rucker Park to watch people play basketball? And then when they decided to make it organized and one and all of that came along and it was people lined up around the block just to watch people play basketball. Why does this keep happening in basketball, but football can't get it done? Cam getting it done with 7-on-7. Even RG3 owns a team. Gunna the Rapper owns a team. They played at the Rose Bowl. You can't get one field together in 11 or 7-on-7 guys or 11-on-11 guys and stream one game for 3 hours. You got everything they need. Because that's the only way to defeat the racism in the NFL. Don't partake in it. They can't discriminate against you if you ain't there. Go start your own league. Yeah, they're going to come and be ready for that. Don't sell it. Keep it yourself. Of course, they're going to try things. The Big Three still going. The WNBA try to hurt Unrivaled. Nope, they're still going. And their brand is better because it's started by former players who know what's needed and not just people trying to make money off of it. To me, the fact that they haven't done it means the NFL know they're not going to do it. And if I don't work for you, I don't have a contract that says I can't. And non-compete agreements are against the law in the U.S. now, so there's nothing holding these guys back. Moving away from football isn't the answer. Starting your own league is. Yeah, Junkins is QB2, and I didn't even know he was there. Dylan got the best players. They all should have the first string, but based on what we saw, Shedeur ain't gonna have nobody because there's just a bunch of question marks. Sports are going to the end for Blacks as a route from poverty to wealth in this country, but it's not over. It's global, right? It's global, and you can see that with them bringing in a lot of African players, a lot of Haitian players. You can see what's happening to African American players, which is why I'm saying just go out there and take your ball and go stream it. There was a time that black players were actually banned from the NFL because white people didn't have jobs. You want to get back in that situation? You need to own this yourself. They watch people stream all day long, but don't think to go outside and use the robust engagement you already have and just stream the damn thing? Not just once. You'll stream you practicing. You'll stream you throwing you the ball around. You'll stream you working out. You'll stream little kids. You'll stream a camp. But you won't stream you playing 11v11 for 3 hours. You'll stream everything but that. Explain it. Because you don't work for them no more. So explain it. Shedeur said, don't draft him if you don't want to change the culture. But you did it anyways. And so did he. Yeah, he already changed the culture, whether they knew it or not, but they heard something different. They were not, they heard something different, and they knew before he even said that they didn't want him. They just used that to attack him. Before the combine, the NFL insider told what? Mel Kiper Jr., we don't want quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders. What people should be asking is, why the hell did you draft him if you knew you didn't want him? Because you're treating him like you didn't want him. So that means you lured him towards you. CU should start a pipeline to the CFL. I agree with that. With his sons leading the way. Some buffs are there now. That's true. That's true. But again, we're missing a very integral part. We're missing something that needs to happen. Canada is not racism free, people. It's just not. I think people think 12 should play first, but he's still a rookie in the NFL. The goal is, what do you mean he's still a rookie? So is Cam Ward and Jaden Daniels. They rookies. They played. When people say that, I'm lost because, okay, CJ Stroud played, put his team on his back as a rookie and got knocked out of the playoffs by the cheating Kansas City Chiefs. And now they attacking him at the O-line. Jaden Daniels started. Look at how far he got. Didn't Lamar Jackson start? Okay. So being a rookie doesn't matter. Now they went and got Carson Wentz and Flacco because they want to switch it up. We don't want no more rookies at the start. That's why the QB2 belongs to two people who have proven nothing. Carson Wentz and Kenny Pickett. That's to block the rookies coming out next year. That's why the 3s and 4s are clean house. Unless you white. Unless you white. An interesting thing, Dylan is a lefty, meaning the left side is the strong side. So if the right side is straight, it may work for Dylan. Can't wait to see Shedeur play this year. Joe Flacco will get hurt. Yeah, Shedeur might too. So again, I want you to look at this chart right here in front of you with a whole lot of people missing. And when they go get some, they're not going to be up to speed. Deshaun Watson is coming back. That's what they saying. I just can't see them foregoing $46 million, but, you know, hey, anything's possible. The left tackle is Shedeur's line side. DeJuan Jones, oh, okay. They say he's not good. I think his PFF rating is low. Somebody can look it up. Did y'all see Shedeur throw that ball perfectly in practice today? Yep, we did. I'll put it on the screen for other people to see it. You're right about the insurance check to Watson. Yeah. I'm like, they not playing his salary. They was playing in people's face when they said we took a big swing and missed with Deshaun Watson. How? He been injured most of the time. As I pointed it out, Deshaun has never been injured like that in Houston. And the fact that the insurance company is paying his salary and they say he'll never take another snap. How can they be so confident? Because that's what the owners have decided. They didn't give him his money back and freedom to go live his life in the NFL. They gave him his money back because he had to. And they're not going to let him go live his life in the NFL like he wants to. They playing keep away with Deshaun, just like they're playing keep away with Shedeur. Those two are at the end of the depth chart. It said Ravens going to take care of Dylan Gabriel. I mean, just the average person playing football. Oh, somebody found it. It said, Nicole said, yes, Charlie Goodell played for Deion Sanders at Jackson State and was redshirted. Rumor have it. Okay, so that was it. So truth ain't true. If you're still out there, Nicole found the answer for you. I was in Michael Irvin's podcast and he said the same thing. An in-season battle between Shedeur and Dylan. Yep. Dion also asked Roger to let Charlie come to Colorado, and Roger said no. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that. Interesting. Flacco hasn't played a full season since 2017. Thank you. It said Dylan Gabriel can throw the ball now. Don't sleep on him. Okay. Dylan Gabriel was throwing the ball wasn't his problem. Pressure, being pressured, something Tyler Shaw couldn't overcome is his problem. He wasn't sacked a lot, so that's hard for these quarterbacks that had O-lines to get past. It said if we stop watching the NFL right now, we will see all the highlights on YouTube. Yep, that's true. I love your channel, your passion, and your commitment to your young Black kings. Yep. Thank you for that, Odell. Thank you so much. It said everybody knows what time it is. I wish everybody knew. Political ill, everybody don't know what time it is. Everybody don't know what time it is. If everybody knew what time it is, we would all be saying, go start your own league. Go out there, take your ball, go home, and stream your own game. If everybody was on the same page, then that would be the message. That would be the message. Ratings down, right. I'm definitely not watching NFL. Amber says she's not watching it. They protected Dylan Gabriel 5 because of his height. Ain't seen him throw a long ball yet because they don't want him to throw an interception. And I think he threw one anyway, right? Too many of our people stuck on it. Won't give up watching football. Right. I say just go watch college football. If you got to watch, I mean, I'm a sports fan, so I kind of understand people who are into sports, but at the same time, even I'm moving on to NASCAR. And yeah, they have had their problems, but you see they're welcoming the culture while the NFL trying to kick us out. So I'm going where they gravitate towards us. I'm learning about NASCAR. I'm watching Arsenal, the soccer, because they got a lot of Black players, or they got some that they willing to highlight. They're not trying to stuff them in the back and uproot their careers and get them hurt. So I'm gravitating towards who's gravitating toward the melanin. That's just what it is. That means times are changing. Things are changing, and you got to change with it. By week 3, they're going to be going crazy when advertisers stop paying. That's what it's going to take. On the documentaries, when I shared the video with y'all about the scandals in the NFL, NFL investigations didn't matter. Lawsuits didn't matter when the advertisers stopped paying and when the fans stopped showing up at the stadium. That's when it became a problem. Those two are dominoes. If fans stay home and advertisers refuse to sponsor or pay or ads or whatever, then that's what it's going to take. That's exactly what it's going to take. And we can't change the advertisers, but we can stay home. And the question is, it has to start with anybody in Cleveland. Do you know somebody in Cleveland that can tell you what's going on? I can't tell you how many times I've asked about a boycott in Cleveland, only to not get anywhere, even though when you Google it, it says they boycott in Cleveland. So it's not as simple as you think, but it's necessary. It's necessary. I unsubscribed to everything Browns. Yep. And it's funny, I never did subscribe to the Browns, I don't think. Because I guess I kind of knew that this wasn't going to work out. Not like this. Don't get me wrong. Not like this at all. But the way he was treated in the draft, I knew that it was happening in Cleveland with the welcome call. So I guess I kind of hung back, but I did follow their reporters. I unfollowed Daniel Oyefuse, unfollowed Cameron Justice. Hell, there were 2 Black reporters. I unfollowed those 2 because they just repeating what they're hearing. So I just don't want to be bothered with it. I watched Shedeur throw today, and I'm going to watch that. But at the same time, nah. Like, I can't give them people my energy because they're not really going to let us see Shedeur like that. Only to get us to come back to the table and watch him play. They know that we tuning out. They know it. They know the Shedeur Sanders fans that they didn't want are now tuning out. My chart didn't have Miles, and it also had Carter, who was cut. Miles who? Miles Garrett? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. I just got that one from some channel. So Cameron Silver Craig was cut today too. Yep. Hopefully his agency can get him somewhere else. The NBA is full of politics. Yep. And you see they suffering for it too. See, fans got fed up with the NBA and just stopped going to games like that. That's why they go get all these schools to come bring these kids in for $10 because fans like, I'm not paying you $200 for 3 hours to watch you try not to win. That's why the NBA is hurting. The NBA is hurting. People would rather look at the big three or go watch something else entirely. The NFL can get there, but I mean, you know, the players too have to have the right mentality, right? So, yep, Red Lobster's new CEO is black. Yep, he is. They got to master how to move corporately like the USFL, and they got it made. Mm-hmm. I mean, can't nobody stop you at 22 players from going outside and playing ball. Can't nobody stop that. They already know Shedeur got 4 million fans. They know if he in the NFL, people gonna watch him, and they know if he go to Canada, they going too. That's why they want Arch Manning to come on out of school. You see it now? You see why they're trying to force him to come out of school? Because they know he's the only one that they think can distract people from Shedeur. So they'll just be free to let Shedeur go if they bring in the Great White Hope. You see it now? That's why they're trying to force him out in ahead of 2 years. And he's changing his mind after that whole Venmo thing. And I think they did it to him, and that's sad. That's just sad. He wanted to stay in school for 2 years, and they trying to force him out because they like, okay, we got to shut this Shedeur thing down. All right, well, let me see you try it. I needed a break from all the negativity. Facts. You have to protect your peace. Somebody, Miss Nia, she was like, I'm going to have to take a break from the NFL. I get it. I get it. I had to protect my peace. I'm not on X as much as I'm on X. I was on there a lot. Now you got to protect your peace because people just want to talk about, you know, they want to talk about it as if nothing is happening. I can't do that. I know what's happening is an abomination. I know where they're trying to go with this whole thing. I know that they just holding Shedeur captive until they bring Arch Manning in, and not to Cleveland. Anywhere. It could be the Saints. The point is they want to drown out Shedeur and all that he has going on and replace it with either Jackson Dart this year or Arch Manning next year. She's very dedicated and driven. I love them. Yes, Janiah. I hope y'all go watch her channel. I'm like, I think it's good. When are they getting engaged? I don't know. I don't ask couples that because they might not be on that path, you know. But it wouldn't surprise me if it happens soon. I remember he bought her the cute necklace with her name on it when they were at CU around Christmas time. So, but you know, I don't normally ask that because that just feels like pressure. It said, yeah, I follow her on Instagram. She is humble and has her own business. Yes. And she does hair too. I was like, you need to get on Style Seat. I'm like, because if you get on Style Seat and you open up and, you know, you just get one of these salon suites and just go in there and have a booth or whatever, you can take your clients in Baltimore whenever, you know, he's busy because she's looking for something to do while he's at work and stuff. And I'm like, that will be perfect. Style Seat, salon suite booth. And you can do hair whenever you want. I said, but your channel is going to blow up. So if you just be consistent with it, you know, that's going to be your job. So she's doing good. I think she's doing good. On the 11 a.m. game. Yeah, I know we did have an early game one time. I don't know if we have any of those this year. I need to be a moderator on this channel. Are you a member? When you become a member. When is the CU game? Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Friday night. At his boo. Yes, that's his boo. Jay said, the tentacle you also need to address is the Caucasian girls running behind the money of Black athletes and having their kids. Why would I discuss that? Let me know, Jay, why I need to discuss that. Because they making choices, right? They know what's up. I'm like, when somebody asked me, I need to talk about why they keep going to the league. I don't even know why they keep going to the league. And I don't even care no more. I'm just like, please just do something different. Regardless of what you think is happening, this is what's going to happen. So do your own thing. But you know what? Hey, I can only do so much. God going to let me repeat that so many times. And I rest my case. Yeah, I don't have nothing to say about athletes with who they want to date. They make choices. They grown. They grown. I don't know why they do what they do. Let's see. Yes, CU versus Georgia Tech. I'll put it on the screen, y'all. Who is that with Spider? That's his fiance, Coco Jones, the R&B singer. Great example of a Cindy success couple. Yes, I totally agree. Yeah, Spider Mitchell got engaged to Coco Jones. Oh, Amber was letting you know. I'll put it on the screen so you can see it. Doesn't he still play for them? Yeah, I think he asking if Donovan Mitchell still played for Cleveland. They were at a New York Liberty game, but maybe it was, I don't know if they were in, I think they were in New York. Coach Prime addressed the media today. Yep, he did. He did. Roger Goodell's nephew, his brother adopted him. Oh, so he is adopted. Okay, thank you for sharing that. And he didn't want him to go to CU? Maybe he wanted to stay at an HBCU. Maybe he felt like an HBCU was better. Dillon will not keep his spot. Well, he can have it until we see how that O-line come together. And since they have to get some missing pieces, as you can see with all these question marks on here, he can keep it. He can keep it. He can keep it. Craig is going to coach probably at CU. Who is Craig? Who is Craig? It said Charlie Goodell is still at Jackson State and is a defensive tackle. See, he didn't want to leave the HBCU culture, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. So he's still over there. Interesting. Selmo not boycotting. We need another contact. See? You see? Thank you, Amber, for letting us know. So y'all need to stay on him. Why is he so hell-bent on supporting Cleveland? Yeah, it must be something in the water up there. Shilo will get another chance. I feel it. Okay. Okay. I'll share it with people who might feel that way. Annette said, connect with Jared Bush from Cleveland. No. No. They not on that type of time, Annette. They not. It seemed like it. They not on that type of time. They not on that type. Every Cleveland podcaster, with the exception, and even they own some of that. They all the same way. I think maybe they have access to the players and they don't want to ruin that. They not on that. They're not going to be honest. They are no different than the people who used to play for the NFL and have their own podcast and don't want to be honest. It's apparent that Stefanski is flat out. Yeah, it's obvious. It's obvious. And whoever's above him shares the mindset. Haslam. Haslam. It said Tampa Bay might pick Shilo back up for the practice squad. Well, there goes opportunity. Gary Bush goes back and forth, and this is too for content. Right. That's why I'm like, if you ain't seen past that yet, you ain't paying attention. So now you can't trust in Cleveland podcasters. It said, bless Bubba Wallace had to deal with some stuff just to prove the way NASCAR is better now. Yeah, they had to go through it. See, the NFL need to have that reckoning that baseball has had and that NASCAR has had. And hockey drafted either 3 or 10 black people into the National Hockey League. What happened? People stopped watching it. People stopped watching it. That's what just needs to happen. It said Joe will be moved and Dillon and Shedeur will get first shot. If the O-line look like it look right now, Dillon and Joe could have it. Dillon and Joe could have it. Because Stefanski's still the head coach, right? Okay, yeah. So Dillon and Joe could have it if Stefanski's still the head coach. It said because he was not a part of Coach Prime's Louis luggage, or could Goodell harbor resentment towards Coach Prime because of an imaginary slight involving his. I don't think he slighted him. He had the man on the team. I feel like the young man wanted to stay there. But then again, I don't know. I do feel that I mean, they just had Coach Prime on the Ring of Honor, right? That was in February. So somewhere between Super Bowl weekend in New Orleans and February 20th, something happened. And if I find out it's about a woman, it's going to be a problem. because they very well could. Wars have started behind women. So I start to kind of think that maybe it kind of might have something to do with a woman. But when you look at the other guys, the other quarterbacks, when you look at how they're treated, you look at how the other players were devalued. No, I don't think so. Because here's the thing. Is it going to be resolved by the time the next class come out of school? You see? It said Bush is like the Philippines. They go with whoever is the winner. Right. Yeah. You got to pay close attention to that or just watch it a couple times. It'll be obvious. Ain't nothing wrong with going to Canada. Ain't nothing wrong with starting your own league either. I don't know why people just want to run from league to league instead of not doing your own thing. The big three, unrivaled basketball. Now it's your turn. The same things that's happening is the reason why they started those other leagues. It said Bush said one thing on his podcast, but when he go on the Cleveland show, he said something else. Right. He kind of has to conform with what the Cleveland show so they can keep inviting him to come back. So he gonna straddle the line. Yeah, it could be. I think his mom is still up there. Unless they want CDLs like me. What? Their minds don't play at all. At all. They own it. They own it. They own it. They own it. Hey, Destiny. It said Coach Prime wanted to bring him to see you. Goodell says Coach is his hero. He also had a conversation with nephew on racism in America. He pushed for minority ownership to no avail. Okay, that's interesting. All right, that's some good insight. Destiny found some info, y'all. I'll put it on the screen. What lessons are they teaching him? They are praising Arch Manning for being confident. They said they don't want to. He's too confident. So what the lesson is of the day is Jim Crow. Okay, that's the lesson. I think other people are starting to see the Jim Crow part. I don't know what I was doing, but somebody said in the comments, this is number Jim Crow. I'm like, there you go. See, a lot of people don't know because remember, Jim Crow supposedly ended. It was started before slavery or after, right? 100 years after, 1792 to like 1964, 65. A lot of us on social media were not alive. So a lot of people don't know what Jim Crow is. That's why Julia Johnson Law is over there teaching it on his podcast. If you look at what happened with that on the cop, that riot, that's what they basically do in the Shedeur. You work here, but you don't belong. Oh, they mean that. They mean that. And the more melanin you have, the worse it get. Miles Garrett and Jerry Judy are suspect. Yep. It says, so you think it'll be a class act? What do you mean by that, Matt? It says, I don't think he can trust nobody over there because everybody gonna have a me first mindset because they just want to make it. They scared to death like they don't have no other options, and I just don't understand that. I'm like, so y'all don't know what streaming is and what it can do for you? Like y'all don't have, see, that's what happened when you don't have your own social media. See, one of the things I appreciate about Coach Prime at CU is what do those players have? They have social media. So for some of them, like if you look at Caleb's page, Caleb, when he posts, he have like 6,000 likes, like views or whatever. He has a consistent audience. Sometimes he has more than that. If Caleb don't go to the NFL, he could go get his master's on CU's dime. He can keep his engagement going. And he can turn himself into a content creator. One of them gonna have the sense enough to say, hey guys, why don't y'all all come out to the park when we ain't doing nothing and let me stream it for y'all? It's gonna happen. I might just have to keep saying it once a day, but it's gonna happen. I think the next generation gonna get it because the current generation, Shedeur is probably one of the few people, Shedeur and Travis, because they came from CU, that have robust social media engagement. Shilo Sanders. You see the Sanders have it. I posted about Shalimar. She got an endorsement from CVS Beauty. I said, the Sanders name sure is respected everywhere but in the NFL. And that's why you ought to take your ball, go home, and stream your own football. They get mad love, right? Because the name, the Sanders is iconic. But because the NFL is on Jim Crow time, they don't want to appreciate it. One thing about it, God don't leave his people nowhere where they not appreciated. So y'all gonna see what happened. Look at how they did his sons. They really think he want anything dealing with the NFL? Yeah, he does. Because he got 5 years of recruits to get there that want to get there, unless he come up with something that they could go to, and it ain't the UFL. Canada's paying attention, but again, out the frying pan into the fire, start your own league. See, that's what I mean. Everybody want to run from league to league. Nobody, I have not heard anybody on one platform suggest that the players that just got cut go out there with Shilo, who has robust engagement, and play 11 on 11. These podcasters are making money from streaming. So how can they not see the streaming aspect to football for people that just got cut when the big three is out there? It's not, I don't get that. I don't get it. It just don't make no sense to me. I blocked all things Browns, yeah. And I'm not even on X like I was before. Shedeur is young. He'll have time. And he eventually will be a starter of Cleveland. Okay. All right. When they fire their coach, that's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take for something to shake up the Browns and Stefanski to be gone. Because until then, that means Haslam has the same mindset that you see Stefanski employing. So that's what it is, guys. I think I was in Shannon Sharp's comment section. I said, why is black men, can y'all just not go out there and stream a football game? Y'all can stream all these podcasts. Nah, I mean, you got to give it to Cam. At least he got the 7-on-7 streaming, and that's good, right? But why is nobody making the connection? Streaming podcasts for athletes. Let's just go out here and stream a game. Why is that not happening? It's too simple. It has to be some reason why it's not happening. Maybe they thought of it and it didn't work. Please tell me that, but I don't think they did. Instead of arguing with Ocho and Cam, they should have been the two of them podcasting. And you know how you know streaming work? Because Shannon announced it that he and Ocho are going to be live after the Colorado game. And I think he said they're going to be in Colorado. You see, I can go all the way to Colorado and stream, but I can't stream a damn game for 3 hours. Hell, they all going to be in town anyway. They could actually go to a park. They could just go to CU Field while it's getting ready for the game, or one of their practice fields, and just go out there and play with who's in town. Put on some shorts and a t-shirt and a helmet. You ain't even got a tackle. Just go stand over there and record, and people gonna be like, wait a minute, what's going on? Oh my God, that's Shady McCoy. That's Ocho. All of these people have fan bases. The thought just hadn't occurred. I mean, I'm happy they all get to the podcast game, but it's time to move on to the next level. The streaming. Let's move on to the game. Tell me I'm wrong. Delta Airlines got his back. Okay. Okay. Mac, they're going to kick you out. They don't tolerate Shedeur slander, so they're going to kick you out, bro. They're going to kick you out. NCAA is my football pastime. I left the NFL a long time ago. I'm going to be right there with you, Rich. I'm going to be right there with you. I'm just ready for college football to start. Facts. It said, Mac, you are going to CU game Friday. I put it on the screen so he can see it, Val. Not even Taylor Swift engagement announcement took the attention off too. Facts. And that's what they want Arch Manning to do. All right, y'all. We're going to get out of here. So if y'all hear somebody say they talking about streaming the game, please let me know. That's all I want for Christmas. I just want them to get out there with a robust engagement. I didn't say anybody. I didn't say no scrubs. I said people like Shilo with robust engagement, something akin to what Shedeur has, Well Off Media has, and they go out there and stream it with Reach the People Media, Pregame Media, all them people, Shannon and Ocho, all the smoke, Santi Samuel, and they just all go out there and stream it while them people that just got cut play 11v11. Just do it. Name it after me. What She Said Sports Pro 11 on 11. And stream it. That's it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I need for thank you. Just name it after What She Said Sports Pro Classic. That's it. Is she into healthy hair because she can start a hair care line? Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I don't know. But if you go to her channel, why don't you put that in the comments? Because I suggest stuff to her. So why don't you do that, Kim? Because that's a good idea. She actually could start her own hair care line. And did you notice how much she likes makeup and stuff? See, she can have her own makeup line. She can have her own beauty products. It said Ty Bowles will not call Shilo back. He was well aware he could not keep him. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Canada has a rule on U.S. players on each team. I could see that. Hey, Clara, how you doing? All right, y'all, let's wrap this up. We'll be back tomorrow. Shedeur has already changed the culture in Cleveland. He changed the culture in Cleveland. I agree. Shannon needs to do whatever. Colin Cowherd ended his podcast deal. Oh, really? Wow. See, that's what happened. He should have just stayed on his own. But it's the lesson. It's a lesson. It is. When you start getting all these sponsors, and that's why I appreciate y'all support. I appreciate y'all support, the super stickers, the cash app, the members. I do, because I don't think I will be able to be as genuine, hooked up with any of that, right? I wouldn't be able to. So that's why I appreciate the fans. That's why the subs matter to me. The members matter. I appreciate the cash app, the super stickers. That's what I use to get the channel to the next level. Hell, I myself want to show up at a Colorado game and tell y'all so y'all can show up too. And we have a little section where we can watch the game and live stream it. Yeah, see, I have dreams too, right? And they involve streaming. So when I see, like Shannon said, oh, they're gonna go live after the game, or they're gonna be in Colorado or whatever. See, I want to get to that level. So thank y'all for getting me to 5,000. Now y'all know I was already on the road to 10,000, so we just hit the 5K mark. So now I'm working to get to 10,000. The more engagement I have, the more opportunity I have to elevate to the next level, so we can get together in public. Right. So we can have an outing. So y'all can know about it ahead of time. Or, let's say, for instance, right? Let's say Colorado goes to the Peach Bowl. That's here in Atlanta, where I live. So, of course, I would have a spot that I already have my eye on. And we would just all gather there and live stream it before the game, go to the game, and post game. You see, I'm already thinking about what's next. So I appreciate your engagement, because that's what it's going to take to get there. I appreciate the support. Appreciate the cash apps, the super stickers, the members. Don't forget, we're live Friday, 6 p.m. We'll be back tomorrow, popping up during the day, but 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday night tomorrow. And there's things that I want to do to get to the next level. And they do involve gathering and streaming, right? Because that's the era that we live in, right? There are going to be people that meet us all the time, every night, but they can't, for whatever reason, make it to whatever the destination is. Atlanta's just an example because of the Peach Bowl. But if we live stream it, they can be there right there with us like they are every night, right? This is a community. So the community can be virtual, but when we get together in person, the people that can't make it in person can still partake. So I'm already on it. So hit the like button, subscribe, become a member. Either way, we'll see y'all tomorrow. And thank you, everybody. All right, so we're going to get out of here. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.